Greetings, Earthlings. This is Dave coming to you live with another episode of And Another Thing with Dave. Tonight I want to talk about capitalism, and in specific, is the U.S. really the greatest country in the world? I don't think so, and there's a lot of evidence to back that up. What brought on this train of thought was reading an article about China and Russia signing this landmark agreement to bypass the petrodollar. So the petrodollar is, for those of you who don't know, the U.S. has had control of the international oil market since the 40s, and we force all nations to exchange their currency into dollars in order to buy oil. So the U.S. benefits greatly from this position, and it's over. This is the beginning of the end with this agreement between China and Russia. So not looking good for the dollar. And that brings up, this point, people talking smack about socialism, yada, yada, yada. Where do we get off thinking that the U.S. is the greatest country in the world, that we've got it all figured out, and that everybody should learn from our methods? The numbers really don't back that up. All of Europe is a socialist, what you call a socialist democracy, which is socialism meets capitalism. Namely, they've taken out the power, healthcare, and education industries from the for-profit arena because they found that having these industries be for profit inevitably leads to ultimate corruption and tyranny. They've seen this, we've seen this time and time and time and time again. So they got to figure it out. Somehow we're stuck on stupid. We think, oh no, we've figured out the way to make it work. Well, work for the 1% for sure. But capitalism left unchecked will eat itself. It's a dog chasing its tail that will eventually catch it. There is a profit ceiling. You cannot increase your quarterly profit ad infinitum. Once you've exploited the cheapest child labor in the world, then what do? Once you've bypassed all environmental regulations, exploited the cheapest child labor on the planet, then what do? Then how do you increase your profit? And then this brings up corporations are not people, but they have the rights of people. And this is ridiculous because a corporation has no vested interest in its community. It's not drinking the water or breathing the air in the community that it does business. It's just sucking profit out of communities and then sending that profit to the corporate headquarters. We've seen this time and time again with oil industries, in the Gulf, with Monsanto in Anniston, Alabama. Look that one up. They settled for $700 million, I think. Poisoned a whole waterway and tons of people. Hideous. Our trade agreements are exploitive. NAFTA sounded great, but instead of bringing people up in foreign countries, we're bringing people down here and paying as little as we can abroad. I think it's fine if a U.S. corporation wants to move abroad, move their headquarters abroad, fine, but you're not going to get the protection of the U.S. military. You're not going to get any tax benefits, and you're on your own. Good luck in that country. And if a U.S. company wants to do business in a foreign country or have a factory, then I say we mandate that they pay a U.S. minimum wage. It's a U.S. corporation. They pay a U.S. minimum wage. Then we're bringing people up. And the ridiculous part of those people is there's money being made. I mean, in Denmark, McDonald's pays $20 an hour. Do you think they would pay that if they weren't making a profit? Oh, hell no. Sweden just went to a six-hour workday. Do you think they could do that if it wasn't still, if they still didn't have plenty of productivity? No. We're just working like slaves here, stuck on stupid. It's amazing. And it's cause and effect. So I heard this on Democracy Now!, an actual recording of Reagan's aide when he was governor of California. And his aide said to him, Mr. Reagan, unless we do something about this free college tuition, we're going to end up with an overeducated workforce and nobody to man our factories. Well, guess what? They did away with free state college tuition. So now we got a nation full of idiots, and the corporations have shut all the factories, shipped the jobs overseas, so now we don't have any factories. So Detroit is a third world nation within the borders of the U.S., and this leads to a little clip that I want to kind of close with tonight. This is Jeff Bridges in HBO's The Newsroom, and it may be one of the most powerful 2-3 minutes on television ever. He's answering the question, What makes America the greatest country in the world? Take a listen.
Why is it not the greatest country in the world, Professor? That's my answer. You're saying yes. Let's talk about Sharon. The NEA is a loser. Yeah, it accounts for a penny out of her paycheck, but he gets to hit you with it anytime he wants. It doesn't cost money. It costs votes. It costs airtime and column inches. You know why people don't like liberals? Because they lose. If liberals are so fucking smart, how come they lose so goddamn always? Hey, and with a straight face, you're going to tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom? Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom. All right. And yeah, you, sorority girl, just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. And one of them is, there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yosemite?
Boom! Damn! Dropping the knowledge bomb. Jeff Bridges. Powerful performance. That's HBO's The Newsroom. Highly recommend you check that out. It's crazy. But yeah, might have been the best couple minutes I've ever seen on any widely spread media outlet. Anyway, thank you for listening, people. If you're digging what I'm doing, picking up what I'm throwing down, please subscribe. Where the hell is it? Right over there. Ha-ha. Thank you very much for tuning in. This has been Dave with And Another Thing. Peace out, people.